team. You can't find him in the replies. Odell writing today on Twitter, LA knows where I wanted to be, but they didn't offer me anything. So I don't know what people want me to do. I definitely know my worth, and what the offer was isn't reflective of that. So it's tough to say I can come back, even though I thought I finally found a home.
Kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's a little like...
You put an exclamation point. I could finally found a home.
Yeah.
So that's my...
Yeah.
I've kind of brought it down. Rams reunion dead, Broussard?
I wouldn't say dead, but certainly on life support. I mean, it certainly isn't looking good. And I get where Odell's coming from. You said it, Nick, a while ago. I had said it as well. It was like, I don't care if you saved a locker for me. Give me some money. And maybe they did, because it's hard to tell from his tweet. Maybe they made him an offer. Okay,
it sounds like if they did, it was close to the
low.
veteran minimum.
But the way I'm looking, again, and I've said it before, another team should hop on this. Another team like the Green Bay Packers, who clearly need a receiver maybe more than anybody else in the league as far as really good teams. And I think you got to go out there and get this guy, because it does look like it's not going to happen in L.A.
Okay. So this is hard for me because I understand this position that Odell is in. You're older. You're coming off of injury. You still believe that you're worth a penny. Whatever that penny looks like, however shiny it is, you still believe that you're worth something. In that situation with the Rams, it looks like he should be getting more because of what we're seeing their struggles are. They don't have anybody aside of Cooper Kupp. And you insert Odell, we're automatically saying, oh, he'll be what he was last year. We don't know that. They don't know that. He doesn't even know that. He's believing and hoping that he is. That's why these offers are going to be what they are. So for me, you're talking about Green Bay. Well, that inserts him pretty much in hopes of being the number one guy. He's not that anymore. He's not a number one. I love Odell. He's not.
And he wasn't for the Rams.
He wasn't for the Rams.
He was awesome for him, but he wasn't their number one.
He would be their best receiver. Is that correct in Green Bay? And you just don't think he could handle that? It's not about him.
He would be their best receiver. The expectation would be that he's their best receiver now, because it's Odell Beckham. Who else you got on the roster?
Right. Yeah.
He goes back to the Rams. You got Cooper Kupp. Nobody's considering him or believing or hoping that he's our best guy.
So I want to do one kind of big picture thing, and I don't want to get into heavy media criticism, but I do want to say this. The media's got to do better on certain things like this, and not just espousing what teams are saying with no critical thinking attached to it. 3 of the 5 Rams games I've watched this year, the Rams have made it very clear to people doing the games, oh, we love Odell. Oh, he's kept his locker. We kept his number. We have a home for him. And at no point did I hear even the question of, so why isn't he on the team? Like, is there a rule against signing injured players? Of course not. Or are you in some devastating cap position? Actually, oddly, no. I looked this morning. They are exactly median, dead middle of the league for cap space, and you can always free up a few $1 million. Nobody's talking about giving Odell a long-term deal. Did you get a bargain from Odell last year? Well, Wild just told me they paid him $1 million last year, and he helped him win a Super Bowl and was awesome in the playoffs. Now, I know you don't in business and in life typically pay for past performance, but maybe he's worth a little bit of a bump. Guy played for you, hurt all year, got hurt in the Super Bowl, played awesome in the postseason, all those reasons. And so I don't blame Odell for feeling some type of way about the Rams. When you left the Vikings at the end, but when you went to go play for Miami briefly, I would imagine, maybe I'm wrong, that when teams were talking to you, if one of those teams was Green Bay, there's a little extra feeling of, man, y'all kind of, the way I left here was not the most pleasant of my experience of my career. And you feel some type of way. I would imagine Odell understands why the Ravens didn't want to pay him while he was hurt. But the Rams don't want to pay me while I'm hurt. But we know what his list of preferred teams is, Wilds, because like you said, he's in the replies. And shout out Marcus Spears, who does a great job. He tweeted out a list of Kansas City, Green Bay, the Rams, Buffalo, and Baltimore to Odell. And Odell said, we see eye to eye. I think we can cross off the Rams.
I think Rams are done.
I think the Rams are done. I happen to think Buffalo is not realistic.
I don't think so either.
Because I think you have Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis has been a star for the last year. Right. You know what I mean? That doesn't.
They don't need it.
I'm not right. I'm not the people like, Nick, you don't want him to go there. I just don't think that's realistic. So you have Baltimore, which we've talked about, Green Bay, which we've talked about, Kansas City, which I want to bring up just in this context. You and I talked off the air yesterday. I have not, I don't want to speak for you, seen a lot from Juju. And that's the spot Odell would be walking into. Like, that's the position on the field he'd be playing. And I don't think there would be these expectations that, oh, he's got to be the number one because Travis Kelce is there. Nobody's talked about the Chiefs in that capacity because they have a lot of receivers, but they don't have a clear number one. I think that one's interesting. We've all advocated for Baltimore or Green Bay. But I do think he can help an excellent team this year, even if he's not a dominant player like he was last year.
I think Tampa's in there, too.
I think he can help. Here's the issue with it all. And for Odell, moving forward, the Rams not offering him what he was hopeful for or lowballing him hurts him. It hurts him because they know the most about his situation, his health, all of the things. He wanted to really stay. It's clear, but they didn't offer him what he wants. So now your hopes are that some other team sees what the Rams aren't seeing. Well, the Rams are kind of saying a whole lot. If they have a locker for you, we were hoping that we can get you back, but it's not. But it's not for what you're hoping to get. It's going to hurt him. Whatever that number is, I would love to know what that number is. I don't see him getting it.
Well, he's also going to have to accept that, look, you're going to have to go out there and prove yourself. We know what you've done in the past. We know you got one of the greatest catches in NFL history. We know you were great, like you said, last year in the playoffs, just a year ago. But you did tear your ACL. And so wherever he goes, nobody's just going to open up the bank and give him all this money that he wants. So he's going to have to accept, I'm not breaking the bank. So I'm going to have to go out and prove myself again. Hope I don't get injured. And then maybe next year you get some money.
Can I push back on the Rams locker room thing?
Yes.
I need to see photo evidence of this. I think eventually somebody on the Rams organization like, hey, where should I put these extra T-shirts? Can I throw them in Odell's locker? Is that okay? Like, it's okay. Throw them in there. He's not coming back. Greg, out of those teams, I want him to go to Baltimore. I think Kansas City, God bless you, you have plenty. Buffalo has plenty. Rodgers seems like he needs some help. But you know what, Rodgers? You got a bunch of MVPs and a Super Bowl ring. It feels like if I was Baltimore's front office and be like, all right, we're at a little bit of an impasse with Lamar's contract. Hey, sign of good faith that we believe in you, believe in the passing game. We went out and made an aggressive offer to Odell. Do you like him with Lamar?
I don't love it because I don't know what Odell I'm going to get.
How about good Odell?
If you get the Odell from last year,
if I get the Odell from last year, yes.
Because here's the thing that helps Odell. He says he was playing on a torn ACL. So I know he's coming off it. His argument is not that I blew my knee in the Super Bowl.
They knew.
It's that my knee was already blown. I was playing on it, and then in the Super Bowl, it got worse. I'm not sure exactly. I'm obviously much like Bill Belichick. I'm not an orthopedist. But so even if he's not the old Odell, the Odell that was with the Rams in the playoffs last year, that works in your opinion in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson and that passing game.
It does work, but I'm going to go back to what Bruce said about the Rams that being over. I don't believe that it's over for him with the Rams. I don't because when a player wants to be somewhere, it takes you really coming to your senses of understanding the why in the business part of it. And most of us don't do that. When we're on our way out, we don't really know that we're on our way out. We still think that we are the player that we've always been. Everybody sees it but the player. I was there. We all have been there. And right now, Odell is coming off of injury.
It's not
You
dead.
still had it.
Just life support.
I appreciate that.
You still had it.
I agree
Miami.
with
I was watching.
I appreciate
You
it.
still had it.
You know what the Rams need to do then, though? In addition to maybe offering some money, win some games. Odell's not coming back for
Well, they also
3
can't get the ball
interceptions.
going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For a team that can't